So, I took a look at this game called Sorcery. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen inspired game that was very hyped up to my knowledge. I've seen it all over TikTok, on my For You page, I've seen it on YouTube, and obviously it looked really good and I wanted to check it out, but after playing the game with my friend, to be honest, I was so disappointed. It has its pros, but it has even more cons, and to be honest, I just don't think Sorcery is worth playing in state. And I know it's a solo developer's project game, and I think it has only been developed for 2 months, but this game is a free test for a paid game, and I'll tell you what, as of right now, Sorcery is not a game worth buying. And with that being said, enjoy the video. First, I'll go over the pros of the game, and after that, I'll move on to the cons of the game. So let's start. So for pros, I don't have too much to say, but the animations are very clean, and the parry system is also very well made, and I personally think it's one of the best parrying systems I've seen on Roblox, other than like games like Deepwoken. The combat of the NPCs is also very enjoyable because they're not completely forgiving the player like in other games on Roblox, but it's not something too terrible to fight. You'll learn the combat system fairly quickly through a few fights with NPCs, and it's not just a shitty bandit beater game. Another great feature in this game is a leave tool you get whenever you enter a mission. So if you get a mission you don't like or a map you don't like, which is something I'm gonna talk about later in the cons, you can leave without penalty, which is just incredible. I also really like the obtainment method for the Black Flash. You don't get it by leveling up a stat and unlocking it, but by attacking random players. It may happen whenever you just left click them, which may seem like a bad design at first, but I love it because it gives more purpose to the player hunting missions and also gives more purpose to interacting with players in the game. On top of that, when you reach level 99 you can't level up through missions anymore, and instead you need to participate in a tournament kind of thing, where you are forced to kill at least one player if you want to win and uncap your level, and until then, nothing will let you level up. And I like this because it locks essential features behind player interactions and doesn't allow players to just dwell on PvE. And if it's done right, it can be very healthy for the game. And now, the cons. There are a lot of them. I'll start off with the most basic feature in this game and your only way of progression: missions. The maps for the missions and the missions themselves, like your objectives, are so incredibly poorly designed, it's insane. I'll start with the only good mission objective in this game, the exorcise curses or kill humans depending on which race you are mission. It's a combat mission and the most engaging and fun of them all. If you are a sorcerer, you need to exorcise 3 curses and avoid attacking bystanding humans, and if you're a curse, you need to kill everyone, including the non-hostile humans and the Jujutsu sorcerers. Now this is the only good mission because it's the only one where you have things to do and you're constantly engaged in doing something, which is combat in this case. You're also given a ridiculous amount of time to complete this mission for some reason. You have 10 whole minutes to kill 3 curses or Jujutsu sorcerers and some weak NPCs that don't even attack you back if you're a curse. So I don't see how such a huge timer is necessary, but either way, this is the only good option you have out of 3 different objectives, the other 2 being incredibly boring and incredibly repetitive. One of the 2 other objectives you have is carrying 3 hostages to a rescue point. This mission is very boring because you can only carry 1 hostage at a time and you have to bring 3 of them, so you need to go back and forth 3 times in order to complete the mission. The design of the rescue mission is also very odd because you are much more time limited in the mission, which doesn't make sense. Why does it have less time than the combat mission? It's supposed to be a stealth mission. On top of that, it has like 5 times the amount of hostile NPCs than the mission where you're supposed to fight hostile NPCs. This obviously doesn't connect at all. You are in a stealth mission, but you have less time than a combat mission and more enemies to fight than the combat mission. And then there is the third and absolute most boring mission in my opinion, the one where you need to find a cursed object and engage with it every 10 seconds for 2 minutes. It's so boring. You just need to use your cursed sense to find an object and then press G every 10 seconds so it doesn't die until the timer runs out, and you have nothing else to do. This is easily the worst mission and the most boring one. There is no reason for it to exist. It's useless. You just press G over and over again and you call it gameplay. There aren't even any NPCs for you to fight. The 4th and last mission is the only one that includes any PvP between players, and also the rarest one for some reason. I have no idea if I just had a luck issue, but I only got hunted like twice and became a hunter myself once in my entire time playing this game on 2 different accounts. but whatever the reason may be, make this mission more common. It's fun, it's the only one that has anything to do with other players. Either make it more common or just outright remove it. It's so rare. At this point, getting this mission is like finding an Easter egg. Curse tickets. Don't even get me started on this. Curse tickets are item drops you can randomly obtain from completing missions, and they're your only way of being able to reroll your innate domain, your clan, or curse technique, unless you use Robux, of course. Now, the issue is, you get a single curse ticket for each curse ticket you redeem at Mahito, and they're rare to get from missions, so you genuinely would have to do like 100 missions if you're lucky to reroll your clan or technique or anything, because they cost like 20 or 30 tickets each. Redeeming codes is your only way to get these tickets without wasting a week of your life. Speaking of clans, some clans in this game are just trash, and clans like Gojo are completely overrated. Like, you would expect Clan of the Honored One to be somewhere good, right? But 6 Eyes actually only gives you some extra range and cursed sense and god-awful stats. Gojo, how do you get outdone by Megumi of all people? Beginner weapons and late game weapons have no difference. Yes, for some reason, there is just no difference between beginner weapons and endgame weapons. For example, the Tanto Dagger and the Inverted Spear of Heaven have identical stats, identical basic attacks, and an identical heavy attack. If you've got yourself a basic dagger, you've got yourself an endgame weapon, you've got yourself a friend that will carry you all the way to special grade. The Inverted Spear of Heaven is just a Tanto, but it looks flashy and has a level 50 requirement. The only endgame weapon that is somewhat different is Dragon Bone, which is like a weird bone greatsword thing, and since it's the only greatsword weapon, I can't really judge it, but it kind of just falls into its own category. But I bet if there was a regular greatsword weapon, it would have been the exact same as the Dragon Bone. Also, this game kind of copied Deepoken in certain aspects, whether it's through certain moves being identical to Deepoken, or just like places straight up being ripped off, like the Void here. This is the entrance to the Void. This is literally just the Duke Arisia's manor. I'm not gonna show it right now, but you just have to take my word, and if you're a Deepoken player, you already know. Either way, if you like to hear me yap about how much I hate things about games, you can subscribe. I don't upload often, but I might start uploading more often again if I get my monetization back, which is gonna be great, and it's gonna really motivate me to keep making these videos. Leave a comment down below if you want to see me make more videos like these. And yeah, see ya.